Hey everyone, welcome to my newest How to Do, and in this I'm going to show you how to take apart and probably break a new series Dalek. This is the original, more robust version, as you can see. I say break because I've only ever taken one of these apart once, and when it comes to taking things apart that I'm going to use for parts, such as this, I'm fairly mercenary. I don't worry about saving things. Excuse me. As always, you start with the base, but yeah, when I'm taking things apart, I tend to just take them apart as best I can. And the new series Daleks, I tend to really only use these for parts. So if a few bits do break, which they usually do, because the classic Daleks, such as the gold one, as you can see dismantled in the background here, they're actually basically put together so you can take them apart, whereas my experience of the new series ones is they're actually put together and then parts of them are sealed, and you'd have to break the seal to get them apart. So, there's the bottom of it off. Now, you can see in here, one thing that you usually find in the classic Daleks is this bar across the back here, that's not there, so usually you can get in to undo the head. Obviously on this one you can't. You still, on these, do have the fixtures of the spheres, and again, these tend to be fairly well sealed. They can be quite difficult to get out. So, I don't know how well. See, this is really quite wedged in there. Which is a shame, because to get it out, that tends to happen, and you tend to get bits of it falling off and coming off, which is a shame if you want to put it back together. You can sand it down and, remake it, but it is just a bit of a shame. And then, if the inside is correct, this is the second one. Oh, see, that happens. It's a real shame that they're not easier to get out. They probably are. A lot of people I know use like the boil. Same thing they do on figures. They use the boil and pop method. Luckily, I'm not going to be using this body for anything, so I can destroy this a little bit. Right, so obviously next step is undoing these screws. You can see that it's fairly similar to a classic Dalek in its sense of the way it comes apart, but it's the smaller parts that are the more annoying bits, because as you all now see, if you try and just take this apart, is there another one? No, see, this is where it differs, because in the way this one comes apart, that bar at the bottom is holding the rest of it together, unfortunately. So, and the problem here is that bar is here, and if you look on your figures, if you've got any, that's sealed. So what I tend to do is, again, because I don't really keep these figures, is you can either snip it. I can't get it in there, so I may just have to look away now if you don't like seeing toys destroyed. Okay, that's actually really stuck. I can't do it that way. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can drill into it and get that out of the way. Right, you may see some of this footage sped up while I try and fight with this. Right, there we go. Now what I had to do there was clip that. I couldn't get this one undone, so I've had to clip that out, so you can at least get that part out. This, again, I'll leave that for a minute, because I'm starting to lose my temper with it. So this, again, these bits come out in the same way that... Whoa! Slightly more stiff, and that can happen. Anyway. So yes, so these bits come out in the same way that they would on a classic. Where did that come from? Was that part of that? And again now, so now you might be able to see it better in there, is that bar at the bottom is what's holding it together. So this is where I have to get in with these to try and snip it. Now I know, you know, again, it's not really the best way of doing it, and it does probably ruin, you know, people are going to say, oh, it ruins the figure and you can't put it back together properly. And yes, that's true, but at the end of the day, this is the way I do it, and that's what this, you know, I put this channel together for, to show the way I do things. So I'm sorry if, you know, you wanted to see me take it apart the proper way, by getting the screw in and getting it out, but unfortunately I can't do that. I probably could, but this is the way I do it, so this is the way I'm showing you. Right. Oh, come on. This is the bit that this is the problem. This is where it probably would be better for me to do it the correct way, because I can't get in there and get the bit I need out the way. Come on. Oh, come on, you little bastard. Times like this, I wish that they had made these in a similar vein that they had to the classic ones. Oh, here we go, it's coming away. Because it would be a lot easier to take it apart. And the classic ones prove that you don't need this, okay, that'll do, that you don't need this bar across the middle to hold it together, because it's not in the classic ones and they hold together perfectly well. But it's also the fact as well, actually, thinking about it, the reason being, there you go, heads off, is the mold. It's the difference in molding, because on the classic ones, these neck rings are single pieces that slot over the top, whereas this is actually molded onto the body, which is where that does actually differ as a part. But yeah, that's the main body part. So then the head, again, this differs slightly in that the classic ones only have a single bar across to hold the eye in, and then I don't just pull out, it's worth pointing that out as well. Yeah, they do have a single bar that just holds the eye in, and then whoops, a daisy. I've got real butterfingers today. And then as that comes out, it's more of a entire circular shape to hold all the loose pieces in. But there we are. That's a new series Dalek taken apart. You know, I've had to cut a couple of bits on the inside here, here, and here. But you know, if you trim them down, it does fit back together neatly, and you can, you know, you can put it back together. It does still work as a Dalek. It's all still functional and able to put it all back together. So yes, that was my dismantling of a new series Dalek. I hope that was informative for you and you enjoyed it. And I shall see you all with another video very soon.